Доброго времени суток, дорогие зрители моего канала. Меня зовут Веритас и... это у меня почему-то уровень там внизу показывался. Ну ладно, неважно.
Yes.
Ну чё, пошли, ты меня куда-то вела.
Huh? Huh?
All right. This is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Yes.
Вот тут можно помыться, да. Как старые добрые.
A glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will walk.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicon, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here. So it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicon is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready to take the oath. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
Так, я схожу в магазик внизу, может там... А, стоп, это апотекарии, они зелья продают, а не заклинания. Надо найти, где заклинания продаются.
Walk blessed.
And you actually believe this could work? It sounds absurd.
I don't believe I know. The mercenary, he might not be the shining knight of Castle Starsound, but he's better than most of your men. I want him, and you will need to convince your truchessa of it.
Прямо
Is that
хочешь?
so? Very well, I will convince her. You will hear from me.
I hope so.
Можно ли Костяна винить за то, что он хочет
Good to see
Джаспара?
you. How do you feel? You've never been in any danger. If I had doubted your abilities, even to the slightest, I would have never spoken out for you. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters. The ceremony needs a little preparation, 1 day at least. Come back then. Even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches, I can feel it. Just this night I had another of the dreams. People I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke through them. They mocked us and said our struggle against the cycle was pointless. It was peculiar. I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it. You did? That is interesting. It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between us. None. Maybe they are demons or magical entities of some kind, but they're different from everything I know. In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony.
Ну давайте подождем. Чё, где-то поспать надо.
Walk blessed.
А, стоп, у меня же, наверное, есть какие-нибудь квесты. Так, он вроде находится где-то здесь, в храме, так что я к Рейгану могу подойти.
Malphas's blessings.
Greetings.
Так, мне вроде
Yes.
вниз, да?
Have you heard? Apparently the Blue Islands Coalition sent an emissary here to Enderal. Despite the wars. They are bold.
А, он наверху.
Gotta give them that.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Walk blessed. Oh, yes. Guess what? There is. Some people just don't get the meaning of the word reliability. Huh. You're not from the Order, are you? Then I wonder what the blazes you're doing here. But, fine. Who am I to reject a helping hand? Elia, the novice who was assigned to me, she's supposed to help me transcribe these Pyrian tomes the Grand Master is so obsessed about. But 2 days ago, she simply vanished. If I were to guess, I'd say she's strolling around enjoying herself somewhere in the Nobles' Quarter. I'd go look myself, but I'm lucky if I get to breathe within all this work. Go find her and tell her to get her bloody ass up here and help me. If you do that, it won't be to your disadvantage.
Пойдем.
Mages wild and free, wicked wayward wizards, if they're pointing their devious fingers at you, you'll soon be crazy too.
Well met.
Ой, это что у нас?
My sir! Phew. There you are. Here, a letter for you.
Ты тут откуда взялся?
What? Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Safe travels, and may his light guide you.
Так, девушку мы, наверное, найдем там, где-нибудь по пути. Ну, сейчас, да, сейчас где-то вечер как раз пойдем. Тут, блин, должна быть где-то точка телеперемещения по городу. Но ее нету. Это обидно. Приходится бегать. Сколько сейчас время вообще? А, 2 часа утра. Ну, немножко не вечер, ладно. Так, ты вроде не ученица того деда. Ну, допустим, вот сюда, к главным воротам. О, я угадал. О, он тут.
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it. Yeah, I changed my mind. Come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it.
Ты же не будешь ко мне подкатывать, да?
There we are. Wait a second. So, wine or pipe? Termatralian brandy, vintage 8190. A real treasure. Consider it a congratulatory gift for passing the trial. Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, my friend, what is it that drives you? I've been asking that myself since we met. I mean, it's not like anyone's forcing you to play errand boy for Orenthiel, is there? And with your abilities, you could make a fortune as a mercenary. Not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far. Makes sense. In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with, Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm. We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change, especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great, at least initially. She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, she was a mercenary, but she only ever picked the jobs where she thought she could help people, or at least do no damage. As you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession, and whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really. That was, let me think, about 3 years. Yeah, we went to Araziel, Kira, Arkwend, and one time we even fought a group of petrified on Nilay. She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her. Well, we were simply too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight, and an even worse world savior. Licia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing. Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first night. That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favorable light. At least if you're like most people. Let's save that for another time. Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf? I see. Maybe you can tell me about that one day. I'd love to hear it. I, for one, have had enough drama to last me a lifetime. Sex is fine, but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such wrong-headed expectations, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to finally admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like? I've heard some stories about her.
Меня так прикалывает все еще с этого затемнения экрана постоянно.
There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Arenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them, their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, my friend.
Мне бы где-то поспать. Хотя не, я буду искать девочку, блин, по городу. Потому что почему бы и нет. Где в квартале, знаете, или в квартале барак. Ну, погнали. Надо будет коня себе купить потом. Чисто на всякий случай. С конем-то, наверное, всяко попроще будет.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. What? Oh, yes, sure. What do you need? Well, it is actually quite simple, but since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that first. You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer?
О, даже так.
Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need help with. I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foomville, was ambushed by bandits, and both my father and my mother died during the attack.
Thank you, but it's ancient history now.
Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the guards, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage.
Now, of course, she is still my sister, so all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that.
Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me, she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way. Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you. But if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage. Anywhere there's rats and dust. But she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity. One of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
Ну давайте. И сюда зайдем. Так, она у нас находится... Не записали название, я забыл. Ну ладно, давайте глянем.
Move along.
А, блин, я опять забыл купить у апотекария. А вот уже тут. Зелье лечения.
What?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking.
Oh, does he now? Good old Milbert and his silver tongue. Now he has found himself a lackey to do his dirty work for him. Let's make this short. I'll keep the key. No idea what he told you, but it wasn't the truth. Because if it were, you sure as fuck wouldn't be here. Milbert. I'm sure he told you about the raid on our village, didn't he? Well, there's one thing he didn't tell you. After those fuckers killed our parents and tried to break into our house, he left me behind. Took all the valuables he could carry and just ran away. If I hadn't managed to flee, he wouldn't have shed a fucking tear for me. But since fate was so kind to me, things turned out differently. I made it out alive and walked all the way to Ark, where I thought he was. So, you'd think he was glad to see me when I found him in these tunnels, wouldn't you? Well, you're wrong. He let me sleep in the room he paid for from our parents' money, but made me feel as if it was a privilege. And guess what? That hasn't changed until today. Yes, he pays for my room in the barracks, but that's about it. Worth it. It has been far too long since this asshole has seen the mud of the Undercity. I survive. That's more than most people around here manage. And please, spare me your moral speech. I'm done with. I know that. But it doesn't change the fact that it's Milbert's fault, too. Are you deaf? I said no! But obviously, I need to put it another way.
Ну давай. Да ё-моё!
Fine. Fine, I get it. You win. I'll tell you where the key is. But don't expect too much. The money's almost gone. Close to the entrance of the pit, there are some barrels.
Malfest's
I
blessing.
headed there. Go. And do what you have to do.
From the skies, he abandoned the way.
Вроде каких-то вариантов мне особо тут и не дали. Яма с бочками, да?
Move along.
Ага, он на рынке. Яма с бочками. Хм. О, денежка. воду я залезть не могу. А, это бараки. Прошу прощения. Так. А, стоп, рынок он вон он куда идет. Блин, я не там ищу вообще. О, ключик. Класс. Я только не понимаю... Я отметку не поставил, я дебил. Опа, а челик-то нету. Ну, живет она в главной пещере, скорее всего. Ну, где-то в подгороде.
Move along.
All right, sonchild. Stop right there. Hand over your money, and we might let you live. Play the hero and, well, you fill in the blanks.
Чел, успокойся.
What the?
Do you know what this is? A knife. And trust me, you don't want to see it up close.
You heard my friend, so shut up and pay. You want to get out of this alive. Did I ask you to talk? Give us your fucking purse, or we'll make you. You think you're tough? Huh? All right then. Let's do this the hard way.
Где там второй?
What is it, Santel?
Move along.
What? What do you want? To conquer me?
Твою мать. Ну чё, Мирада берем, получается, снова. Капец, я на маршрутке трачусь. Похлеще, чем в жизни.
Please, just...
Massa, walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed? Sure. Where to?
Блин, ладно, назад. Пенная это где? Угу.
Sure. Where to?
Ну, значит, к западному утесу летим. А ладно, пофиг, все равно. Быстрого перемещения нету. Блин, только не вы. Ну нахрен. Волчары позорные. О, грибочек. Так, за мной меня никто не преследует вроде, окей. Живем. Надеюсь, так и будет продолжаться. Да, в принципе, норм. Пенные у нас вот здесь. Надо, кстати, риторику вкачать.
you listen to me? I'm sick of your fucking lies. Sick of you pretending to give a shit about me whenever it's convenient. Sending a sellsword after me. Really, Milbert? How low can you go? How low can you go?
But... By Malthus, you... Please, you have to help me. She's completely lost her mind. It's the dust. She's not herself.
But you know what? It's too late now. You won't save him. Or maybe you will. But only over my dead body. I have nothing to lose anymore. Not that I ever had much to begin with. Oh, believe me, it will. I'd do it just to see that fucking smile wiped off his face. Fuck the money! I've told you how he treated me since those raiders came for us. Yes, he pays for my room, but do you think he ever came to me in all those years? Or asked me how I was? Fuck it! I'm a goddamn mess, and I know it. But it's his fault because he was never there for me. Not when our parents died. Not when the dust took me. Never! Before he sent you to get the key, he asked me himself. And that was the first time I'd seen him in years. But no. This wasn't about me. This was about his goddamn business and the money Father left for the two of us. He wanted it for himself. Just like he always has. Am I? Well, it doesn't feel like that. If it's the fucking dust, then I guess I should be grateful. Make me.
Даже никакой возможности нет решить это дело миром, серьезно. Куда пошла? Куда пошла?
She's dead. Oh God. Thank you. By the name of the sun, the drugs did this to her. This goddamn dust. What? No, she rationalizes. Ever since she took her first sniff, she has changed and started to blame me for all her misery. Believe me, my friend, I did try. But the more I wanted to help her, the more she started to push me away. What happened to our family, it broke us both. Only that I managed to get back up again, and she didn't. I guess that's what it adds up to. Good question. I suppose at first you get your reward. Without you, I wouldn't be alive now. Here, you can take this key. It's to another slot in the Beg's treasury. You can take whatever's in there. I owe you this, at least. And while I feel ridiculous to bring that up now, I promised you another book, didn't I? Which one do you want?
Риторики нету. Ну давай элементализм.
Fine, here. Now, give me some time, will you? Celia, she was a shadow of herself, but she was still my sister. I want to say goodbye properly. Do you need something? I need some time for myself.
Ну, а на этом, я думаю, мы будем на сегодня заканчивать. Если вы здесь впервые, вы можете подписаться на канал, поставить лайк, нажать на колокольчик. А меня зовут Веритас. Всем до новых встреч. Всем пока-пока-пока-пока.